We're back on the air, boys. Now, where were we?
Brooke?
Well, so what was Bill O'Reilly's? What was his?
Papa Bear? Show the reverence. You know, he gets nearly as many viewers as NBC.
You know, actually, he's been. I think in many ways he's been fairly even-handed. I think he's been at times very critical of people on the political right as well. And the problem with that for him is that he gets it from both sides. It's like being a principal at a school. When you're done, everybody hates you.
That's right.
The parents hate you. The teachers hate you.
Especially if
the
you're doing,
students hate you. The school board wants to fire you.
Especially if you're doing your job right.
That's middle management.
He came in. He was more like the statesman of the show, that sort of thing. And he let Beck be Beck, and he just basically acted almost like a foil, and they kind of let things bounce off. He also got up there and basically told everybody the sort of things that they already believed in. This was, like I said, this was like preaching to the choir. Is what it was. A lot of conservative.
Because that's what. Whenever I see him on TV, he's always yelling at
Yes.
somebody, and it's like, really.
That's true. No, he didn't yell at anybody, and I have criticized him for that actually in some of my op-eds. Someone's a guest on your show. You don't scream at him.
Barney Frank.
Phil Donahue is
yes.
a person with whom I am going to find very little that I'm in agreement with. You'd be surprised what I would agree with him. But would be surprised. But he invites people like this on his show, and then he literally threatened to punch out or something Phil Donahue. And I'm going, this guy, the guest on the show, it's just like when Rosie O'Donnell turned on Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
I was watching that when she did that. I'm going, isn't this guy her guest? Didn't she ask him, please come on my show? And he said, yeah, sure, okay. And now I'm going to berate you and savage you in front of everybody. What the hell was that all about?
Well, there's some people just see the world as their stage, and we're just fortunate enough to be sitting in the audience on it.
Well, I think he's been much better about that. I know, I get you. I think O'Reilly's been better about that. I think he probably realizes that on a couple of those things he's made some mistakes. But when it comes to like Barney Frank, when he had him on there, I think Stephen Colbert had the best line ever in an interview with Barney Frank.
Yes. So how is Mrs. Frank?
How's Mrs. Frank? That was his opening question when he had him on Better to Know a District. And Barney Frank, I don't think Barney Frank likes my brother.
I think he clammed up pretty well.
He clammed up, boy, he just didn't like it. And so, how's Mrs. Frank? What a great line. Did you see when Stephen Colbert covered the Democratic Convention?
Oh, it was genius.
No.
Oh, he saw there was one delegate that was in an Arab mufti. And it was
past election in 2000?
No, 2004.
This was 2004. I have it downstairs. If you ever want to see it, I'll lend it to you.
2004.
But there's an Arab guy dressed up, in an Arab mufti, and he's a delegate or with one of the Democratic delegates. Ahab the Arab. Anyway,
Arab.
Stephen chases after him and goes, Senator Lieberman! Senator Lieberman! I used to go, oh God, that was so great. There was also the time when he was interviewing James Carville. And I used to say this about it too. And when Stephen said, I cracked up because he used to say it all the time about James Carville. Because when Stephen was finished interviewing James Carville, he looked and he said, oh, by the way, I loved you in Sling Blade. And Carville got it. To Carville's credit, he didn't get mad. He laughed hysterically. He got it.
Carville has a good sense of humor. I'll give him that.
He has a wonderful sense of humor.
Sure.
Well, Carville knows he's kind of a caricature too. I mean, he knows. I mean, he puts that whole thing.
He has
on.
to.
Hey, the guy knows his politics. He got Bill Clinton in the White House in spite of everything. He got Clinton in the White House.
He got
Carville
Clinton in the White
knows
House
what he's
with his pants on.
Well,
that was incredible.
Getting back to the Bold Fresh tour, though.
Yeah.
I understand.
Thanks, Dickie. This is why he's my sidekick.
good
Was
segue.
there sort of a Joe Wilson moment there? I heard
Oh,
something
yes,
about
yes.
Percy, you got to tell
Okay,
this.
all right.
Because Lance, you can't toot your own horn.
Let's establish the premise so far.
First establish what
So,
the Joe Wilson moment is.
Joe Wilson, obviously, during one of Barack Obama's speeches, said that the health care plan that he was proposing, Barack Obama said the health care plan that he was proposing would not cover illegal immigrants. Joe Wilson famously screamed out, "You lie." The media savaged Joe Wilson for this. Everybody got all a Twitter and wee-weed up over the comment. Sure. So it became another divining rod, another galvanizing point for both sides. Republicans said, well, he wasn't really wrong. Democrats said it was bad decorum. So, everybody's kind of fighting back and forth over that. Well, Lance Morrison, our very own comedius interruptus, stand-up philosopher, during one of the moments of the
I'm liking you.
of the Glenn Beck Bill O'Reilly Bold Fresh Tour, Bill O'Reilly was talking about Obama's plan for the economy, and he says he's going to cut taxes for small businesses, and believe me, we were in the kind of crowd where that would get normally a very warm response. But when Glenn Beck and Bill O'Reilly came out together, Glenn Beck pointed out that it did not get a warm response because most of the audience didn't believe Barack Obama when he said that, and the audience started to cheer. Right as the cheers are dying down, our very own Lance Morrison,
In his Flem
in
Dortmund
his Glenn
persona.
Dortmund voice, goes, "Hey lad!" like really loud, and our whole section cracks up. And had he waited just about 2 more seconds, I think the best move you could have done was to tap me on the shoulder and say, "He lied on 3, Percy," and then 1, 2, 3, and both of us, "He lied!" at the top of it. Would have been fantastic. Already was the best line of the night from anybody in the audience. It was
He
amazing.
really got a pretty good laugh.
He did get a
I
great
mean, you
laugh.
got a really great laugh out of
Our
that, Lance.
section tore it up, man. I busted a gut.
We had our section on our
I'm
side.
pretty sure I pooped everybody.
Let me explain to you really why we were there. Because
Thank you,
this
guys.
was whole
Thank you very
thing
much.
was a publicity stunt. Because we had a bunch of beach balls with us that we wanted to get out there to try and get some airtime, maybe get it on camera.
Yeah.
Who knows? If we were lucky, maybe someone would throw something up on the stage.
Maybe we'd get arrested.
We'd get arrested. Oh God, we could only hope.
I would
You
be-
have
I would
no
be
idea how
dragged-
disappointed
I
I
would
am
be
that I didn't get
dragged
in
out
trouble.
in
Those
cuffs, kicking and
48-inch
screaming.
balls were some big-ass balls, brother. I was afraid.
We had some big balls.
I would have been on 94.3 screaming, "First Amendment!"
So anyway, what I did was we went ahead and we inflated all these small beach balls, 18 inches that we had.
And when
And I
we say
said, what do
we say we.
With
Jay
me and Lance.
And myself.
Somehow Percy magically disappeared as we're bumping these suckers up and blowing up. That's right. So anyway, I said, well, let's
I wouldn't want a Peter.
let's do this. I said, let's go around and ask all the people who are watching us do this and enjoying watching us blow up all these beach balls to ask them to join in. So I went around and we distributed all the beach balls
But, no,
to
you
different
got to
groups.
include this. What was our line to introduce ourselves? Would you like to be part of a vast right-wing
But would you like to
conspiracy?
join us in a vast right-wing conspiracy?
And everybody was on board.
Oh hell yes!
They
we're
were like,
for
"Yeah,
that."
absolutely."
So basically, the beach balls had things like patriotic slogans, but mostly, and they were written in magic in Sharpie, but in really thick chisel Sharpie. We had ColbertRadio.com, "Be reasonable," the slogan of the show. So we had about a dozen of these things distributed. I said, now when you see the big one go out, everybody toss your beach balls out. So what they really loved was watching me and Lance just endlessly pumping on this stupid thing. You got a 48-inch beach balls, 2 of them
You had to
pumped up.
That was
We brought a foot pump.
Yeah, foot pump.
We walked in with this stuff. We thought for sure they're going to turn us around and say,
Yep.
you can't come in. They let us walk right in with it. Nothing was made of metal.
God bless unionized security.
That's right. But the problem with the big beach ball was we let it go. When we let the first one go, we got a cheer. Everybody kind of, they were all excited, and then all of a sudden all the little beach balls came out. Well, we discovered little beach balls work well. Big ones don't, because the moment the big beach ball landed down the floor, before anybody could knock it up in the air, event staff people came out and grabbed it and walked out with it. The little ones they couldn't get to. They wound up in the middle of the rows and everything.
Right.
And all during the show, though, we see those things go shooting up the air periodically. Go, well, they still got those going. People were walking out with them.
Hopefully they tune in. Ladies and gentlemen who were there at the Bold Fresh Tour, thank you for tuning in to ColbertRadio.com.
Yeah, we got a bunch of those of you who were there in our section 227 up at the top. That's where we
right.
wanted to be because we wanted the beach balls to cascade down, and we really were trying to get some publicity for the show. But what was a lot of fun is a lot of people actually came up and wanted me to hold the giant beach ball up and take my picture, which they did.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that was done, the beach balls were down there. People came down and said, "Can we have our picture taken with you?" I said,
Tomorrow,
really?
Tomorrow.
So yeah, so I'm sitting there, and people coming up and getting right next to me. Go, all right, take my picture. And they take the picture, and they were happy with that. And I went, yeah, holy cow, people wanted their picture taken with me. That was pretty cool. Actually.
Tomorrow, I'm going to call Glenn Beck's radio show and ask him to send our beach balls back.
You do that.
I will.
Anyway, Lance was warning us. He's quite right. We have got to get off the air now.
All right, ColbertRadio.com live. We'll be right back.